Hi, welcome to another episode of Talking with Docs. I'm Dr. Brad Wiening.
And I am Dr. Paul Zalzal.
On today's episode, we're going to talk about the difference between a hip resurfacing and a hip replacement.
Okay, and we got an x-ray here that shows them both.
On the left is the resurfacing.
And on the right is a total hip replacement. So you can see on the left side, you've got just a cap on the femoral head and a socket. And on the right side there, you've got a stem in the femur and a socket and a femoral head.
Similar principle, but some important differences.
Okay, let's chat about it. So, the reason we're doing this video to look at the difference between a total hip and a resurfacing is a shout out here to Alfie Temple on our Instagram, mentioned.
Well, we'd like to shout out actually to Andy Murray and Alfie Temple. Andy Murray, a professional tennis player, recently underwent a resurfacing for severe arthritis of his hip. So it has at least temporarily put his career on hold to deal with his post-operative recovery.
Okay, so first, the difference now between a total hip replacement and a resurfacing. As we showed you on that x-ray, the total hip replacement has a femoral stem that goes inside the femur, and then there's a socket in the acetabulum, and then the femoral head. And the resurfacing...
The socket is essentially the same, but instead of removing the ball of your femur, you remove the top outer portion and put a metal cap on top of it. So it preserves some of that proximal femoral bone.
Right.
The thought being that you can have slightly bigger heads, sometimes better for younger people, maybe better range of motion.
Yeah, those are the pluses. The downside is every resurfacing implant is a metal on metal bearing surface, where if you've watched some of our previous videos, we talk about the problems with metal on metal.
Yep.
And a total hip replacement, you can have a metal on polyethylene bearing surface. Okay, so having said all that, artificial hip, resurfacing or total, can I be a professional tennis player?
So I think time and Andy Murray are going to prove that, because I don't know that there has been someone who has successfully had their hip either resurfaced or replaced that's gone on to a significant tennis career.
Yeah, I think it would be tough to compete at that level with an artificial joint.
I'm hoping for you, Andy, though.
What about other sports? Any other professional athletes where they've played on artificial joints?
Yes, interesting story. Tom Watson, when he was 59 years old, was within one hole of winning the British Open. At that point, he was 9 months from having his hip replaced. Stuart Singh got him.
Well, so yeah.
Yes.
I mean, golf's one thing though, tennis is another.
What about football?
Football, well, the classic story we have is Bo Jackson, football and baseball, I
So
guess.
good.
He had a total hip replacement. It only lasted about a year, I think, before it wore out and had to be redone.
Yes.
So that kind of high impact sport, probably not. And we've made a video about what you can do after your artificial joint. So go check that out.
And I think the trouble is, it's not that you can't do a lot with an artificial hip, but when you're that elite of an athlete, the difference between first and last is a very small amount, and unfortunately an artificial hip might be enough to do that.
The good news is the vast majority of us will do fine with an artificial joint, do all the things we want to do.
Absolutely.
Just before we go, can I mention what happened in the OR today? It was hilarious. We've been working together for a long time, very long time. Today, Dr. Wiening called me babe.
I meant to say, dude, grab this, and I went, babe, and it was too late.
You know,
and then the room broke up, and
it's okay, hon. I get it.
If you like this, please like it and follow us on YouTube.
And remember, you are in charge of your own health.
See you next time.